Welcome to Socotra. Been to this peaceful island before as it becomes infested by two warmongering tribes, and that is the scenario once again. macluffy versus King Boo. 2K plus matchup here as King Boo sends a villager forward immediately passing macluffy's scout. Neither player stops, and the scout, or the, yeah, elephant is brought in just in time, but a villager coming forward from macluffy to try and wall in the berries, and at this point in the game it's pretty hard to stop that from happening, and a lame coming in from King Boo. So King Boo looking to get both elephantos here, and it seems like he's probably going to be able to pull it off, but in the process he may lose access to his berries. And this is just a very awkward game. Now, this is Goths. Goths are really good at this. Why? Because they can shoot down the elephants with just a few villagers. And they get loom for free right off the start. macluffy is Byzantines. Not really a specialized civ for this map. However, if we get a little later in the game, Byzantines are a tremendous civ against the Goths if they can get a castle down and cataphracts out. Cataphracts beat all infantry, Goths go mostly infantry. Now this lane continues as macluffy sends forward another villager heading out to the ostriches. But King Boo preempts this, shooting down the ostrich himself. Already out on the ostriches, so these food sources that rot are a big deal as both players, well, yeah, as both players trying to make sure their opponent cannot get good access to those food sources. They rot, and macluffy, while he has been able to wall in the berries of King Boo and shoot down all the ostriches, has lost his elephant, and his ostriches also been shot down. They're dancing around with their scouts. King Boo does have a slight advantage in the scout fight. macluffy has lost, has completely walled in the berries of King Boo, who is sending out a lot of villagers to try and gather as much of this rotting food in as possible, leaving the elephants under the town center to rot. Interesting strategy. And sharing this ostrich together. How kind. Had a sneeze. Apologies for the quick pause there. Or the mute, rather. And we see the villagers already out here on the berries. This is, I would say, a mistake. Got these ostriches rotting out here. No reason to... Ooh, this villager might get walled in. I'm going to stay here. There's something happening back at King Boo's base, but macluffy walling the villager in for King Boo. Come on. Get it? Get it? Doesn't get it. Oh, if that would have been a house, he would have had it, but macluffy didn't have the wood for the house. Gonna get the villager kill anyway. I have to assume. No. No, this villager gets away. Absolutely gets away. Back here, the villager looks like died for macluffy, so I missed that. King Boo does get away with his villager. Yeah, I think when there are ostriches rotting, you don't want to send any villagers to the berry bushes. The berry bushes don't rot away. You want them all gathering up as much of that ostrich meat as possible. Out here, you can see macluffy went really ham on the ostriches. And he does have an issue of not having berries, though. Berries, you can see 6 berry bushes at 750 food. Oh, cool. Captured shows you exactly how much food. 750 food is more, I think, than ostriches. I think only start at 150. Yeah. Ooh, what you gonna do, bud? I think he's gonna be heading up to the feudal age very soon. macluffy, not so much. So King Boo, if he can pull it off, is gonna have quite an advantage to the feudal age. Is ahead by 1 villager, as he's gotten that villager kill. It's gonna be close. Gonna be very close. Oh, we're just seeing a drush. Forget feudal age. This is dark age stuff, and King Boo wants macluffy's berries. King Boo says, those berries are now my berries. Thy berries are my berries. And yep, we've got Vil fighting, boxing, militia involved. The scout goes down for King Boo. The militia has to run away. The mill is being battered down by King Boo. MacLuffy pulling all the villagers to fight, but there are militia on the other side. I don't know how to cast these fights. I don't know how to commentate these fights, because what is even happening? As these villagers are all just fighting each other. The KD is 2-2. Eco KD 1-1 now. So this fight seems to be going better for MacLuffy, who did start it out behind in the KD and Eco KD. Now ahead in the KD and Eco KD. It's further ahead in the KD, but the KD doesn't matter so much as the Eco KD, and MacLuffy struggling to get food at all. As long as he's not on these berries, he can't make food at all. That is a pretty massive deal. Whereas King Boo, same deal actually. King Boo out of food. Both players just out of food, fighting over the only takeable food on the map. Eco KD, King Boo taking advantage there. But what even is this game? Another villager going to be going down for King Boo. King Boo drops another villager. Eco KD 3-2 in favor of King Boo still. That wasn't a villager, it was a militia that went down. The mill going to be going down for King Boo for MacLuffy, but I don't think that's worth it. Repairing, so MacLuffy thinks so. The Vil fightings continue, and there's just no food. No food for King Boo. King Boo could have gone to the next stage, decided not to, and just has no food. Now seeding farms. Now battering down access to his own berries. So he could have been taking food. There are a couple options for food gathering. Did not choose those options. Instead chose his opponents and microing away the weak villagers. These guys are incredible at this. It's unbelievable. The HP advantage. Ooh, these villagers is gonna meet, but this lady only one hit away from dying. This guy's about 2 or 3. 3, I would say, because of the armor. 4-3 Eco KD in favor of King Boo. So this is still working out in favor of King Boo, but only just ever so slightly. You can see these villagers back home. They're not feeling too healthy. And militia is out. The KD is 10-6 in favor of our Byzantine player, but that doesn't take into account the fact that there were militia added for King Boo and not for MacLuffy. Another villager goes down. Now the villager count 29-27. Both players with significant idle TC time, but much more significant for King Boo, meaning he's only 1 villager ahead. 2 villagers ahead now, even though he's killed 3. Running out of food for such a long period of time is not a helpful thing. Sending the weak villagers home and running everybody home now. So MacLuffy rings the boys and says, nope, mine now. And these villagers are gonna have to scram. This is pretty in favor of MacLuffy, and King Boo's gotta get out of there. I think you gotta abandon ship or bring more. Since you're not bringing more, time to abandon ship. Although he's gotten 3 more villager kills, now ahead by 5. My goodness, well played. Looking at getting another one. Not gonna happen. This villager may go down. Doesn't get out of there. The militia makes such a big difference in these fights, as they just fight and fight and fight and fight. Just automatically fight. And King Boo still holding MacLuffy off of his own berries and slowly regaining control of MacLuffy's berries. Sorry, of King Boo's berries that MacLuffy walled in. I don't think macluffy ever gets back his bears. Now macluffy is on the way to feudal age, and that's a pretty big deal. As King Boo is not. Now both of them are expanding their ecos back at their towns, moving up, moving out, but feudal age changes this fight pretty drastically. 37 to 29 villagers though, so it's a weird one for sure. The mill finally goes down. The berries end up being won by King Boo definitively. Now King Boo needs to get up to the next stage. At 40 villagers heading to feudal age, a 20-minute feudal age. What would you expect from Socotra? What is this game? That's a hole, right? Yes, that's a whole villager down. 11 to 3 on the Eco KD, but feudal age is in. Feudal age is in. What's the play here? Barracks isn't up yet. I think it's got to be archers, right? Yeah. But King Boo is saying you can't have gold either. I have militia. I have army. You have not. You cannot have gold. No resources for you. But macluffy gonna be getting gold, stone walling it in this time. Archery range it is indeed. About to chop a hole in these dragon trees. Don't know that King Boo is going to utilize that. There's also a hole around this side. Sneak in. Now, 3 on gold isn't a lot. That doesn't get you, and only 2 working. Doesn't get you a lot of archers in a hurry, but it does get you archers. Slowly, but steadily, it does get you archers. Now a blacksmith. And King Boo, also in the feudal age. So I like King Boo's position. I really like King Boo's position. Those are going to be upgraded to man-at-arms. You got 14 militia. They're on the way to man-at-arms. Of course they are. And archer range being added. Yep. So it's going to be 14 men-at-arms with archers on the way. Horse collar, double bit axe coming in. King Boo, it's cleaner for him than it is for macluffy. The eco efficiency, not great for either one. And this is likely to go down. Likely? No, I take it back. It may or may not. Castle Age, though, for macluffy. macluffy has turned this into a 22-minute Castle Age, so speedy. But Castle Age is not far away for our King Boo player either. These guys are blessing us with quite an action-packed game here on Socotra, with second one action, really. Second one continuous action from then on. And Castle Age, so King Boo doesn't realize that macluffy's on the way to Castle Age. King Boo is staying in the feudal age, applying pressure. King Boo is looking at Castle Age and saying, a couple knights and crossbowmen. Some crossbowmen really changed this up for me. And I think King Boo's going to be a little worried when he sees his opponent in Castle Age, when he could have been, but instead he's continued to create men-at-arms, which aren't that helpful at this point. Well, they might be. These archers are out of position. That gives King Boo another chance to try for this archery range. But the archers come back. And a villager shows up to repair. And I think the archer range stays up. Yep, archer range stays up again. The men-at-arms run away after licking their wounds once again. The KD massively in favor of macluffy, but that's not the big concern here. And I think King Boo is going to click to Castle Age pretty much immediately. I think he's going to drop a tower here on the front as well. He needs to. If he doesn't, there should be a tower right here. Tower. 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 Run! Run! King Boo, run! Yeah, run. Run! Can't stay here. So we got 2 minutes and 20 seconds till this army becomes a longsword army, and it's okay. Skirmishers being added. Good. I was gonna say that needs to be skirmishers. Archers, you're not catching up in the numbers. So you need something that'll pack a more immediate punch. Just continuous men-at-arms production, and macluffy adding now some siege. This has not been impressive from macluffy in the Castle Age, as in he hasn't been able to afford things. He hasn't been able to afford crossbowmen. He hasn't been able to afford an awful lot of anything. It's still 5 archers, 5 feudal age archers with bodkin. So now crossbow coming in, now a mangonel coming out, but only 46 seconds for King Boo to hold. So I think King Boo has weathered this storm. He could even pop out and try to take that mango. I think he could get it. Maybe not. Maybe not. Skirmishers, men-at-arms, gonna be longswords. Now, he's gonna do something about this. Yep, he pops out. He's gonna take the mango. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, he's gonna take it. Is in Castle H himself. Elite Skirm on the way in, and it's gonna be men-at-arms. It's gonna be longswords soon. And these guys wreck. I mean, they just rip through buildings. So Elite Skirm longsword is the play here. And if you're macluffy, what do you do against it? macluffy's probably gonna resign when he sees Elite Skirm. Like, what can you do? Seriously, though, you're not going to repair that in time. That's not going to happen. Mangonel might pop out. Doesn't even get the Mangonel out. And I think that's just GG. King Boo getting bodkin arrow. Not getting longsword just yet. Longswords can shred town centers. Men-at-arms not so much. But bodkin arrow for these elite skirmishers. Another siege workshop added by macluffy, but it's 52 to 37 in the military. The archer range probably not going down. Okay. I think King Boo might have slightly overextended himself before getting longsword. I think some scorpions would actually be the play. Get 3 or 4 scorpions out. Mangonels get the big shots, but if you don't get the big shots, they're helpful. Chainmail armor now coming in for King Boo. Double bit axe finally coming in for macluffy. That tells you how messy this game has been. 31-minute double bit axe. That's something we only see from players like Nikov. Have to shout him out. Big shot does come in. And finally, longswords on the way, but you're gonna want to get that in a hurry. No. That's not gonna work. That's too close. A lot of those men-at-arms going down. Squires just now coming in. Longswords just coming down. So it's even militaries, really. Pretty even militaries at this point. macluffy is still pretty significantly behind in military, but every time he tries to push forward, see, macluffy can't just push forward, he has to deal with all these buildings. Is it gonna be a castle? No way for a castle. I don't know what these villagers are coming for. Oh, they need gold. Desperately needing gold now. See, King Boo's controlling the center of the map with these 4 gold mines under his control. And the long swordsmen show up. I don't know if he has arson or not. Skirmishers heading off to the right-hand side to deal with army over here. Longswords have to back away just because of those 2 crossbowmen. This is a little dicey for King Boo. Certainly a little dicey, not the easiest situation. But he continues pumping out military. His eco's a little imbalanced. And trying to get a sandwich in. It's going to be a little awkward. The units are not going to be fighting, you know, the units you want them to be fighting. He does lose quite a few skirmishers in the process, but now he does have the trap in on the crossbowmen, which no ballistics means these crossbowmen still manage to get away mostly unscathed. Well, I say that, and they start dying. And you can see the KD ratio is wildly in favor of macluffy, but just unable to hold on. And that reminded King Boo of ballistics. King Boo now dropping university, going to be able to get ballistics. Archer range is now going down, and I think if macluffy would circle around to the right, sorry, King Boo, you might notice that, hey, there's not a lot going on back here. He wants to dive the town center, though. I think a siege workshop of his own would actually... And is he going to dive the town center? No. He loses a lot of soldiers under that town center just to get that mangonel. I'm looking for a way back for macluffy, and I'm not seeing it. No military buildings. So far behind, dropping now a 3rd siege workshop in the back of his base. Protected by his town center. Wide open at the back. Looking for somewhere to run. Gonna be dropping another town center off to the right. I actually love this move. Drop a TC here. Looking for gold, though. Oh, that's the issue. There's no gold, and GG. macluffy calls good game. And it came down to that gold control in the center. That center control is so important on Socotra. You can see the KD 2.0 KD. Just such a good KD for macluffy. Didn't matter in the end. The Goth spam in feudal. Castle Age 2. Resources much better for King Boo. Able to put out that military and still have a better economy. Technology stats, you can see macluffy. Much better timings. Didn't matter. Society stats, here it is. Villagers, better for King Boo. And APM, oh, how fast are these guys in this wild game? Not the fastest guys, not the slowest. Right on target with what I would expect from their elos. I hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, drop a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. If not, that's fine. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one. We'll see you in the next one.